paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe, and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying. I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back in to Brainstorm Brewery, or the show, as Jason calls it. I get it, but it doesn't make me laugh. We aim to make you laugh. We aim to make you laugh here on Brainstorm Brewery, at least sometimes. That's why we're back here this week. As always, it's myself, Corbin Hostler, Douglas Johnson, Jason Alt, here to podcast to you from the universes beyond magic.
Corbin coming back to life is never funny. It's a very serious matter and should be treated like a plague or something.
Reanimation.
No, you should. No, you don't understand.
It's unnatural.
You're supposed to ignore it, just like Kenny.
Please ignore me opening an old beer that might foam.
Ah, yes, Corbin, the funniest member, referencing South Park, the funniest TV show.
Man Bear Pig. Remember that guy? Remember that guy, whatever his name was? He said, "Oh, Man Bear Pig."
Jason pretending that he didn't.
Remember
love
that's
South
who
Park.
needed to be taken down a peg or two in 2000.
Man Bear Pig.
Yeah, it was Man Bear Pig.
Jason loved South Park seasons 1 through 5.
What's the Brainstorm Brewery seasons 1 through 5?
Oh,
What's our season cutoff? What season are we on?
Well,
We are on the last season, so if this is a Netflix show, it's season 2.
yeah, no kidding.
I've had a lot of people at shows ask. They're like, they learn that I do a podcast somehow. I'm not the one that tells them, and then I'm just like, yeah, we're like the One Piece of Magic podcasts. You gotta
Oh,
get
that
in
might
real
be
early.
true. There was definitely.
There are over 1,000 episodes of One Piece. We don't have this is a 20-year project.
Well,
I'm not going to do this cast for 20 years. I didn't even make it 10.
You actually did.
Did I?
Well, I looked this up the other day, and this isn't tell all, okay? But Brainstorm Brewery on X, the site formerly known as Twitter, joined in March 2012. So even if you came 8 episodes in, Jason, that's still summer 2012. Just so you know.
YouTube watchers get the exclusive feed of Jason aging in real time, like that Captain America gif.
It's GIF.
It's not, actually.
It's GIF. The guy who invented the GIF says
We
it's
are
GIF.
not having this argument.
No, we're not. So stop.
Because
Corbin and
Jason heard 2012 and he had to go there, you know.
Corbin and JJ bringing up random bullshit arguments into our group chat. We can't have the GIF versus GIF argument. Not
Let's
here,
pronounce
not
GIF
now.
correctly, man.
I think JJ would happily have that argument with you.
What about
Go-
the voice
go
of
get him.
Mardell Industries? What say you?
You know, it's not an argument. The fact that the MTG Summit this year was very bad, and I attended it as a vendor.
Yeah, let's
I
talk.
actually spent time being upset I wasn't invited. And that's silly. Because sometimes you don't get invited to a dumpster fire and you're like, I'm not one of the cool kids who got to go to the dumpster fire. But then they went and there was a dumpster that was on fire. And there were 5 times more people at last year's dumpster fire, apparently.
Well, they timed it after Vegas by a short amount. Halloween weekend, which
The last one was also after Vegas.
Well, they
by a
don't
short
celebrate
amount.
Halloween in Salt Lake City, so how are they supposed to know when Halloween is?
Vegas. Here's the secret, though, DJ. Last year, they were riding that anti-magic 30 way about Vegas.
That is potentially part of it, but I don't think people knew that it existed this year.
Well, last year, but that's part of the reason why. I'm telling you. Part of it
4
is
out
that
of
last
every
year.
5 people who went last year didn't return, though. So
Last year, they did a huge marketing blitz where they had a bunch of content creators tweeting out links, and then they would get a discounted ticket and or a full event stay based on that. This year, they obviously did not go that route. Maybe they were hoping to just put on last year. I don't really know. What I do know is that last year, there most certainly was an element of, I'm not giving greedy wizards any of my money. I'm going to go to MTG Summit. And like it or not, that helped their advertising. Facts of what happened.
Well, you never...
And that kind of sucks in that it has nothing to do with the event.
Fail.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It sucks because it's not a reflection of what, like, that's an outlier last year that maybe they thought that their projections were different because last year they had success with it. Like, it's so hard to be a TO.
There's anti-wizard sentiment now with Universes Beyond, or that they could have been like I'm not giving Hasbro my secret lair money. I'll go to the MTG Summit, but like their advertising just didn't exist.
It's obviously not an either or, right? It's a spectrum. But yeah, it's tough to be a TO. So it's especially tough in today's environment. What was the experience? What was the experience like, DJ? Yeah.
First of all, there was a Thursday VIP only day, not event, not a VIP only draft or like a meeting or a couple hours in. You get in early. There was a full day that was only available to VIPs, which there were maybe 100, 200, maybe 100 people VIP. I don't know, but it certainly did not feel like much. I did maybe a single digit number of transactions on Thursday. And that is several $1,000s that every other vendor spent in hotels and opportunity cost and labor to be there for that Thursday, to sit there for 9-ish hours and just twiddle our thumbs.
I can understand why they did that. I don't think that they will determine that was worth it. The feedback for Wizards is that you have to make the VIP experiences feel special, right? Not much is more special. Getting a whole day to yourself. Screw a couple hours in the morning.
Well, also, both Wizards and Summit are like, people want meet and greets. The fuck they do. No one cares about
I think that's... People do want
to... If they paid for it, they want to get it. So offering meet and greets and inviting all these content creators and then not having an area set up for it and not telling the content creators when they're supposed to be and where, that's half-assing it. But like also, people want it if they paid for it, but they don't really care, so stop offering it.
People do want to interact with the content creators. I mean, drafts, I don't know, like meet and greets maybe not, but like people love drafting with...
I think, this is personal opinion, I think there's a huge difference in a CubeCon. Another thing that likely would have taken away from MTG Summit's attendance and cubing against Reed Duke than paying money to go say hi to Reed Duke and be.
But they did do those celebrity, like, you can draft with Olivia and Kibler. They did do that at the Summit.
Right. Yeah, I think those are the experiences that people.
Yeah.
Like just on the topic of like the meet and greet, that's a thing that I've been to like league things or like the DreamHack main event. They do all these meet and greets, and it's not. People need to understand that the audience, the target demographic for the like meet and greet your favorite content creators, it's like 16 to 20-year-old kid. It is not, no matter like whatever people want the demographics to be of Magic. They want it to be a family game, all of this stuff. The reality is it's not a bunch of 16 to 20-year-olds out there.
But we had a Fortnite secret lair.
It is older people than that by virtue of what it takes to grind Magic. But yes, it's hard to reconcile having the resources to do those things with a meeting.
So there were a lot of issues with the floor space, which I'm not going to get into the nitty gritties, but vendors were placed where they shouldn't have been, and there were a lack of vendors where they should have been, all of that. But one of the most glaring, jarring things to me is you walk in through the only entrance, and immediately to your right is not the registration booth. It's not a big vendor who paid extra to be there. It's not any sort of cosplayer or creator or welcoming thing. It is a ring of tables that looks like a vendor booth should be there without tablecloths and all that. And then just stacks upon stacks of cardboard boxes of merch. Just out in the open, right when you walk in. Just piles and piles. Just what do you call it? The aggro crag of t-shirt boxes.
Well, DJ, first it was the aggro crag, then it was the mega crag.
Whatever.
Now
Corbin.
it's the super aggro crag.
Really, they're
that's
still
cool,
going
mister.
with guts?
Oh man, on Global Guts, that's what they always said. First it was the aggro.
That's cool, Mr. Semantics, and burning 60 seconds of this podcast, but
Bro, I'm gonna burn you. Like
with all the
burn notice.
board that they had, yeah,
I don't
you had
miss
plenty
this.
of fuel.
Burn notice style.
I don't miss this. It's not the bickering that sucks. It's the fact that neither one of you guys are funny.
Okay, yeah, go on.
And the podcast blows when I'm not here. That's whatever. They come up to me and they beg me. They're like, Jason, please go back on the cast.
That's
It's
what
nothing
happens.
but if I were to listen to an informative MTG Finance cast, I would listen to Fast Finance. I would invest the 3 hours for Fast Finance.
I think you're onto something here.
But you guys, wow, was that only an hour? Because it felt like a month. Just if you're going to chirp each other, be funny, I guess. Corbin,
Thanks,
have
Coach.
the global guts to take a chance and make a joke.
Global Guts is no joke.
I
That
They
shit's
have,
for keeps.
they also had carnival games. Literal
Come on, what
carnival
kind?
games.
What kind? What are we talking about? Ring toss?
Knock all the bottles over and ring toss.
Why?
If you got
I'm not saying it's a bad idea,
Because
but why?
that's as close as you can get to gambling in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, did you get boosties?
No
for,
games
like...
of chance, games of skill only.
one bottle got you a booster pack.
Oh, no.
Knocking over all the bottles got you a collector booster pack.
How much
I'm not
was
even-
it to throw?
$4 I think for some number of 5 or 6.
Or
balls.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like $4 a ball, and I was like,
I don't know how I feel about that.
Wait,
I know I'm
Corbin,
bad at
there's more.
baseball.
There's
so-
more. There was, and Jason might understand this obscure movie thing. They were demoing a preview showing for the movie Alien Country.
Okay.
Have you heard of that one?
No.
No.
not
Is
yet.
it like-
Either, but they,
Is it
that
like
was one of the-
Lovecraft Country?
That was one of the VIP experiences, was a demo showing of the movie Alien Country, which, don't worry, it's not out yet. You haven't missed anything. But you could go up to room 240 whatever, and that was your VIP. It was your 6
Listen,
p.m.
Look, man.
don't
go-
knock that. That's
Thank
legit.
you. Yeah,
If people
look.
want to
yeah.
avail themselves of that, that's fine.
It is just. I don't think that we can. Wait a minute. Who's in this movie? I
They
think
took
it
up vendor
has.
space. They had a little table with a bunch of dinosaur alien plushy things on it, and they were definitely using some of the vendor space that could have been allocated.
To who?
The guys of the Alien Country movie. What do you want? Like, that is who took up that space instead of.
All
any
right,
other
look.
vendor.
Here's what I have to say about Alien Country. Okay, we can't both be like, "Hey, try new things, fund this in ways besides milking players." All these things
Milk the
we
players,
say,
just
and
milk
then
'em.
listen, and then be like, "No Tig-Tone advertisements, no Alien Country showings." You know what? They tried
No
to give
bean
their
bags and
Yeah.
pancakes. Listen.
they tried to give their summit
Known-
something special,
known
and I applaud the
Corbin,
effort.
wait, no, is that known Wizards employee / contractor /
Not an employee. Go on.
whatever, is supporting the U.S. Army advertising at GPs? Is that what I hear? Corbin
Wow.
actively advocating the military-industrial complex. Corbin
so
Hostler?
I guess if a wedding gets bombed in Syria, that's a good thing, Corbin
Look.
Hostler?
So
Wow.
I see that you're wanting to be hyperbolic in an attempt to get me here, DJ. However, that Band-Aid's already been peeled off. Magic is at DreamHack. DreamHack has a U.S. Air Force VR experience. Like, we're already there, bro.
No, I'm referring to the
I
time
know,
the U.S. Army
I
actually
know.
was at a GP.
I
in,
know
like,
you're
2016.
talking about something from a billion years ago.
You know what
Without
would be
realizing
funny?
that we're doing it every day now. Every
You know
time
what'd be
there's a
funny?
DreamHack event.
If that booth at DreamHack was like an Ender's Game thing where you're in there, you're like, wow, this is so realistic. And then like it turns out you were dropping bombs in Yemen. Try this simulator.
Win
Oh,
this cool arena.
People are
Oh,
way more to
listen.
way more likely to drop a bomb in a crowded public square to kill one guy if they don't know it's real.
It
Win
seemed...
a Purple Heart avatar if you score if you get the high
man.
score.
Well, I got a kill streak of 5. I'm calling in a UAV. That'll call in a real UAV. It costs $17 million a minute.
Look, I don't know if this is going to make you feel better or worse, but their VR experience didn't work.
Pro Tour Chicago, sponsored by War Thunder, the most realistic military game out there. Real enough that they constantly leak the designs of actual military vehicles.
Yeah. So anyway, that was an event, right? So look, I hope that they get to try it again. I hope that financially they at least.
Oh, right. Don't worry, Corbin. Right next to the stack of cardboard boxes, right in front of that table, was a big old sign saying MTG Summit will return in 2024.
With a weekend, right? With a date attached so people could plan for it.
No.
I've heard will return, though.
It's fine.
We heard we were getting a Buckaroo Banzai sequel.
Well, it's fine when Marvel says, like, the legendary Star-Lord will return and it's 8 years from now or whatever. It's less good when you're running a convention, people to get it on their calendar.
Well, it would be nice to
guarantee that you have their eyes watching.
Chris Pratt out of Magic entirely, but now he's in Jurassic.
Yeah, good luck. Well, to be fair, no, he's actually not, though, right? He's not on any of the cards, or it's just Jurassic.
No, it's
Park.
Jurassic World, I thought. It's just
Park.
Jurassic Park?
Just Jurassic Park, fam.
You sure about that? I heard specifically Chris Pratt and Jurassic World, but what do I know? I can't cite my sources. I should have been pooping, but instead I was reading something on my phone I barely understood. Because that's the only time my kids aren't bothering me.
Lucky you.
Sometimes I sit on the toilet without even pulling my... I just use it like a chair.
I get that.
And just turn the fan on, just be like, nobody's f***ing with me. It's good.
Totally get that.
You need that. You need that. Little vacations from your children.
Hashtag not sponsored by Squatty Potty.
I'm about to get a lock on my door, my office door, and put a outside, like a lock I can do from the outside because the kids are walking.
I'm very frustrated by my son. He plays Mario Kart, but he doesn't want to drive too fast. Because he can't steer very well when he's going really fast.
Yeah.
So he goes real slow.
Well, the first step of going fast is going slow, Jason.
He'll do the whole lap in 12th place, and then he'll get a bomber bill or bullet bill and just like rocket.
Bro, put him on. Yeah, put him on those time trials, man. That way he's got no competition. Just like this
finish a lap.
Just like this podcast, by the way, going really slow so that you're in the race the longest, and all of your other competition drops out. Us right here.
That's us, baby.
All right, next up, how about a little breaking bulk?
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
As a reminder, all of our breaking bulk picks come from the #1 Magic Finance website on the internet, mtgstocks.com. Graphs going back longer than we've been doing this podcast, which, as we've noted, is now 11 years. Jason undershotted a little bit.
The best 7 weeks of my life were the 7 weeks I wrote for MTG Stocks.
Go check out MTG Stocks. Definitely look at the premium side of the website. It is what we use for all of our picks, for all of our financial information. It is a complete game changer in terms of keeping up with the ever-changing Magic market. We appreciate them over there, mtgstocks.com. All right, breaking bulk.
I really appreciate them. That was as good a time as any to thank Arjun for the opportunity to join the team and write. I've retired from writing, basically. So that is why I don't write at MTG Stocks. Not because anything bad happened. I just, I can't do it anymore. So if you want to read from people who are still doing it, you check out the articles at MTG Stocks. I read everyone's work when I worked there, and I fully endorse all the content from there.
Absolutely. We love it. Okay, so with that said, Jason, how about you go ahead and start us off? Breaking bulk.
Well, I got two that are very, very, very similar. One costs more, but it might be a little bit more obvious. So I'm going to go with the more recent, less obvious one. This red common creature is from the set Innistrad Crimson Vow.
Epic Vampire Epicure.
Yeah, the 1 mana blood token generator.
No. Incorrect.
Red common creature.
Red creature
Wow.
from Crimson Vow. He's a human shaman. I say shaman because when people say shaman, it makes me think of Michael Jackson. And it makes me sad. So I say shaman.
Either way, you lost me, but also I don't know what this is.
I can see.
Shambona! Kissing Flame Breather, babies.
Oh, it's a
Oh,
combo card.
And the other one I was thinking of was Firebrand Archer. If you have
Yep.
either of those cards
Yep.
in your bulk, yank them out. Oger Axonil, Deepest Might was was one of the new set cards spoiled, and it's the one built a lot because it's another Torbran Thane of Redfell. Only you can put equipment on him, and it's like every time you deal 1 damage, you deal like 7. It's a deeply stupid card, and the game is completely broken. So buy the same cards you always do: Zozu the Punisher and Pyrohemia and all that bullshit. Get your Firebrand Archers and your Kessig Flame Breathers out of your bulk. So yeah, bonus pick. There you go. They were both neck and neck, but I figured I've probably done the other one before. Like
Yeah.
people like this was your Breaking Bulk in 2021. So I've never done Flame Breather before. I did it.
All right, I'll follow it up because I've got a similar one, a red uncommon from On Theme here, Rivals of Ixalan.
Is this a dinosaur?
Yeah, it's a Tepic hasty thing.
Nope.
Rivals of Ixalan.
Odipec Huntmaster is what you were thinking of. I'll give you this. It's also not Forerunner of the Empire.
Yeah, I was gonna say Forerunner of the Empire if I knew the name of cards. Is it the Ferocidon?
No, that's a rare.
Not
No,
a
there are multiple Ferocidons. I was just casting a wide net.
not
It's the dinosaur, right?
It's not a creature.
Is it a permanent?
Raid bombardment or something. It's like when you attack. You
No,
get
Raid
treasures.
Bombardment's like 10 years early.
No, not. It's not. The card's name isn't Raid Bombardment, but it's like whenever you attack, make a treasure, or you have to attack every turn, something like that.
No, I know what
Oh,
you're
I know
talking
the
about.
card you're talking about. That's a
but
cool
that's
card, yeah.
you're right, but that's not it.
Cove of Temptation, I think. Is the card
Trove.
you're thinking of?
Grove.
Oh, Trove of Temptation.
Rivals.
That makes
red
more sense
uncommon.
than a cove.
Is it Raptor Hatchling?
Nope.
It's not a creature, he says.
You can give up whenever I can declare.
I'm
my
giving up
victory.
right now.
This is a 90-cent card. A $7 foil.
Okay, let's hear it.
Reckless Rage.
Oh yeah. This is
4
a Pioneer
damage.
thing.
Well, maybe. It's 4 damage to a creature you don't control, 2 damage to a creature you do control. It definitely had a giant spike up to like $4 or $5 last year, which I would attribute probably like or something. In this case, it's starting to creep back up just a little. But this turns on Enrage. I don't even know if that's the thing coming back in the set or not, or in
Well,
the
it doesn't
Commanders,
matter
or-
because they reprinted Gishneth, so a lot of people
Right.
are dusting off.
Exactly.
Like people
are
who
gonna be
couldn't
building
afford
it
to build that
anyway.
deck before.
Yeah, people are rebuilding. People are building dinosaurs anyway.
Mhm.
Reckless Rage, very expensive foil. But yeah, pretty.
I didn't know that we were doing a red theme week. So
Well, Gishneth is in the top 10 this week, most built. So that's people going and updating their decks. But like,
Yeah.
anytime you go to EDH Rec and something's doing real good, pay attention.
So if I have this one and neither of you guess it, then we are all winners of Breaking Bulk.
It's just never happened because we're all.
I don't think that's ever happened. I think we're all too good. This is a red, and Corbin's not going to guess it because the card was printed before the year 2013.
Fair.
A red Urza's Saga uncommon. So it's up to you, Jason.
Meltdown.
Is it a creature?
No.
Meltdown?
Not Meltdown.
Meltdown's a good guess, but I would have thought that was a little more.
Don't know
You said
what
Saga, right?
Saga.
Meltdown
I don't
was my
think this
guess.
has reprints. I'll check.
Meltdown's a $10 card, just for the record. I just love make sure it was a real card.
Yeah, Meltdown's destroys artifacts. It's very good. It's not a creature then?
It does have one list reprint, which, bleh. It is not a creature though. It is a Urza Saga red uncommon with one reprinting from the list.
There was like ants there. Oh, that's a creature. Is this a permanent or
It's not a permanent.
There's goblins.
so red uncommon instant or sorcery? Is it no, that was from Legacy. The one where you sacked all your creatures, last ditch effort, I think.
No.
Does
I know what
it
you're talking about now?
mana barbs? That's
No,
rare.
mana.
Does it do anything
No,
like
no for lots of reasons to mana barbs.
Does it do anything like mana barbs?
No, for lots of reasons.
Does it do anything like mana barbs?
Is it the song that gets counters on it?
No.
Because there was like it was an enchantment set.
I think this one might be.
Kinda.
It's not a permanent.
Dude, I think I'm gonna throw in the towel.
We all win.
I know what it is.
Soil.
I know what it is. I was
Acidic
trying to.
soil. That isn't that an enchantment?
What does it
It's
do?
a
Something
sorcery.
kind of like mana barbs, Jason? Is
I
that what
said
it
said
does?
Corbin,
Oh, it
shut
does-
your mouth. This is a 3-mana sorcery. Acidic Soil deals 1 damage to each player for each land he or she controls.
Weird. It's kind of like mana barbs. I was trying to help you out, Jason. I didn't know what it was, so I cheated to make sure Meltdown was a card, and I was trying to help you out. Good job,
Not like
DJ.
mana barbs at
Acidic
all.
Soil's a good one.
This is a $1.39 market price, and sometimes somebody plays a Simic deck and they get out of hand, and you just need to crack them for a 13.
I thought it was an enchantment, so that's why I didn't say acidic soil. That's
There you go.
disappointing
But
because
you-
I
you play
clearly
this
didn't
with
know what the
your-
card did.
You play this with your damage doublers and your other hyper efficient burn things like Heartless Hidetsugu, and this will just you play this after like a Boundless Realms or a
Obosh.
Recross the Earth or whatever, and you just kill him.
You
Yeah,
fart
Obosh. Just,
directly in them. Yeah,
I love cards like this.
Corbin.
It's a cool card.
Corbin won our Slay the Spire game with Obosh.
That's so sad, though. It's like we can't bring that up because it was the most incredible ending to a Commander game any of us are like ever going to see, and the entire thing was lost to the imaginations of both
Our own incompetence.
Tabletop Simulator
Our
then
own
Twitch.
incompetence.
Our own incompetence was omnipresent.
Yeah.
But
Alright,
yes.
Everybody won Breaking Bulk. We can.
Woo!
Party
The point
favor
is,
mode
we
here.
took
Drop
a
the
risk.
banner.
We tried something, and it made us feel terrible.
All right. Well then. Next up, let's talk Ixalan. Speaking of new things, there's Universes Beyond. I assume you don't want to.
What
talk
is
about
going
those.
on with every time you move those get yanked out of your head? How short is that cord?
Bro? You're gonna be on about my cord right now.
No, you keep they keep popping out of your fucking head, and you just like don't address it. Like I'm a professional. No,
I'm
man,
not-
a professional would put some cans on.
Or just like do wireless like me.
DJ just did a little twirl in his chair for you, Jason. Is that what you wanted?
I
I
When
mean,
you
I'll
spoke up,
take it.
You were interrupted to speak up, and your end goal was DJ twirling in his chair.
Clearly
is a
not my
strong
end
word.
goal. Do you think if DJ thought that was what I wanted, he would have done it?
Good. I mean, now I'm lost in the.
Is that the
inception,
vibe on
but-
this podcast? I think Jason wants a little twirl. Ta-da!
This is what you did. This is what you did to us while we're just trying to talk about Ixalan or Marvel or Fallout or Doctor Who or Mario Kart.
Hey, I want Fallout cards though. Hey, send me
think-
bottle caps. If you have cool bottle caps, I will use it as a treasure token. So if you have like a cool local brewery and you have like a rare beer, send me a bottle cap. I'll send you like a card or something. I'll send you a present back if you send me a cool bottle cap.
That's an interesting way to use them.
Yeah.
For treasure tokens, that's
For
what
treasure
you do?
tokens, yeah. For treasure tokens when I
What do
play
you-
with a.
What do you do
Fallout
when you
deck?
play
Fuck
Docs? What do you do when you play Dockside? You have like 7.
I
Have
will-
enough bottle caps?
I'll take a 6-pack and be like, well, it's
We're just raining bottle caps and their sharp edges down on our cards. I got these treasures.
oh, I
I've
take
used,
radiation damage every time I drink one of these, but they're so good.
It's a cool use of them, though. I'll give
It's
you
a
that. for sure.
200-year-old sarsaparilla. Can't wait.
I've rolled very heavy metal dice on Taganti before.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
We know you don't give a shit about your cards, DJ. You're a hater.
I'm a hater.
If anything, metal dice might have killed some of the bacteria on those cards.
Oh,
Like, joke's on you, that's a brass deck box.
Well,
Cards
look,
smell
we
a little bit better now.
last week, I think since we've had a more or less normal show with the 3 or 4 of us all on, we're doing Marvel. We're doing like the Jurassic Park things here with Ixalan, but you forgot about that already because we're doing Marvel and Fallout now. What, Jason? What's your take? It's the person, our resident. They're releasing too many things at once. That's a lot of stuff in the past month. Yeah, how you feeling?
Well, it's bullshit that they had to, like, they felt like they needed to spoil everything because Fallout's not coming out till next year.
I agree.
So,
The
like,
actual schedule seemed fine.
some people were actually, dumbass, they did it so they could get the dealers to buy it or whatever. It's like, that's not how
Okay,
they for that.
Yeah, I guess there's something to that, maybe, but like, if you just say like that's not gonna, distributors are always gonna buy that.
Yeah. So, I really just think they felt like they needed to be in the news every day.
It would have been. We've talked a lot, and this was my thing. I was really excited for Doctor Who. I was like, I'm gonna do a capitalism, get a box, go to an event like a Doctor Who release party. I like this. I want to support this thing. You know. Even though the cards weren't in the box, and I came back like the next week ready to talk about it, and I don't even think I was home from my like trip by Monday night by the time they didn't. And I don't know, you get it. You have people's attention. You want to tease them for the next thing, especially if their universe is on type. But then the Marvel thing happened. Maybe that got like leaked early accidentally. I don't know. It's a lot. And then it's Ixalan. And I feel like, wow, what if we just had a month to talk about like the last 2 weeks even or whatever? It's been 3 weeks. And we just got to talk about what Doctor Who cards we're seeing play after 3 weeks. How people were building their Doctor Who decks. And after a few weeks of playing with them, how they were adapting them and what cards are real and what cards aren't. Those things we build the show on. And instead we got, now you got to talk about Marvel. Now you got to talk about Fallout. Ixalan's here. So, as someone who liked these individual products, the overload got me a little bit.
Okay, Boomer.
I know. The Jurassic Park stuff is cool, though, right? Come on. You know it is.
Sure. They're widgets. Corbin, they're widgets.
DJ.
The new 3 Jurassic Park movies, it's the same movie 3 times. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Am I the only one that's noticed it's the exact same movie? The same shit happened in all 3. What? Why do they keep going back? Okay?
That's not
First
even,
Jurassic Park. Hey, we made a park, but we f***ed up. Second Jurassic Park. Okay, that same thing caused a T-Rex to get out, and now it's in San Francisco. Isn't that wacky? The third one, hey, I know you said you would never go back to Dinosaur Island because of all the dinosaurs that almost killed you, but my kid's there, and we need to do a rescue mission. Fine. 3?
That's not it. No, false. False. That's not the plot of 3.
Yes,
the plot
it
of
is.
3, no, it's not. The plot of 3 is they trick Alan Grant, who desperately needs
but that was the
funding.
story, but that was the reason to get him to go back. They tricked him.
But that's not him. His reason was going back was just money, and he was only supposed to be flying around the island, not getting on the island. They knocked him out to put him on.
Exactly. He's not
because he wouldn't go
Chris
back.
Pratt want to go back to Dinosaur Island so much?
That's not look, man. The thing is, what you're saying is a valid criticism, which is why in the third one he literally says nothing in heaven. I think the quote is something like nothing on heaven or earth will get me to go back to that island. And then he says, I can write all kinds of numbers on this check. And then he convinces them to fly around the island, and then they knock him in the back of the head to get him to touch down on the island because he doesn't want to go back. But then you're right, the rest of them, they do go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Captain Semantics, for your ever-present,
actually. You don't understand. It's not actually. It's literally the purpose of that's the plot of the movies. There is an overarching theme through all 6 movies.
Replace the word literally with actually, and that's what you just did.
Well, actually...
I'm not... It's not semantics. It's literally not what happened. Also...
I saw Jurassic Park 3 once in the theater the day it came out. Have you seen Jurassic Park 3 recently enough?
Because my 7-year-old loves Jurassic Park and is dressed as Dr. Alan Grant for Halloween. That's how I know. It's legit. We just got to correct misinformation around here. That's all. No, you're totally right about Jurassic World movies.
All 3 of them. It's the same movie.
But I mean, the 6th one, literally, there is no island. I mean, it all takes place in the mainland. But they go to a preserve instead, so it's kind of the same.
A preserve. It's a dino preserve.
And now it's on Magic cards.
Speaking of preserves, I'm going to jam a sock in Corbin's mouth.
Well, technically, preserves and jam aren't the same thing.
Got him.
Preserves are made...
Well, what? Listen.
I used to know that. I used to know this. I think jam has seeds. Preserves are made without pectin or some... I don't know. I don't know. I used to know. We got to correct misinformation.
You're right. I appreciate where your head's at.
Hey, Alexa, what's the difference between jam and... I don't have Alexa. That's not going to work.
Oh, good try, though. Look, what do you all think about Lost Caverns of Ixalan?
Do you think our listeners have Alexa, though? Like some of the people listen to this podcast?
Well, if they don't, listen. If they don't... Hey, Siri.
When I said "Okay, Boomer" earlier, my phone lit up because it thought I said "Okay, Google."
Okay, Google. Yeah, that was the next one I was going to do.
How many people do you think are listening to this podcast right now on a smart device?
All of them?
Yes.
Except for the 500 who watch on YouTube?
Hey, Alexa, go buy Brainstorm Brewery merch. Go to coalesceapparel.com. Hey, Alexa, go to coalesceapparel.com and buy 7 Brainstorm Brewery hoodies.
Okay, Google, sign me up for MTG Stocks Premium. We're getting there. AI is coming a long way. Soon
hey, Siri, apples suck. You can't do anything. Siri's not gonna help us do any crimes.
I don't know what your problem is with apples. They're a delicious fruit in my...
You look like you eat a lot of fruit.
Apples?
So all right. Jason looks like he grabs a lot of low-hanging fruit for that joke.
I can't say that.
DJ looks like he can't grab anything but low-hanging fruit.
That's what
I like how Corbin thinks he has to pull punches for short jokes. That's the funny part of this.
It's not about that, man. No, it's not about that. It's that I'm desperately trying to talk about Ixalan.
Corbin's like, is that a protected class? Can I get canceled? Like,
do you think anybody cares about Magic cards at this point? They are not listening to this podcast, or else they wouldn't want me to come back.
Look, I will say that the amount, like I did like that everyone, and maybe, it's because we spent 10 years being mean to him. I don't know. But every time when Jason misses an episode, people are like, is Jason okay? The drama? What's going on?
Oh, I never realized that people would think that we were having like an ego feud. That's kind of funny. See, I would have fucked it up, though, by playing it up too much if I'd been conscious of that, so I'm kind of glad. Accidentally.
Well, I'm, like, in YouTube comments trying to, like, reassure people.
Does he hate you guys? It seems like he hates you guys. Seemed like that time 11 years ago when he wanted to go to a different restaurant and you took everyone to B-dubs. He took that personally. And now he can't stand you. Is that what happened? Does something happen in Indianapolis?
I took you and I take you again.
Indianapolis. Does something happen there?
I take you again. You should be so lucky. Gen Con, maybe.
Next Gen Con.
Look, they're not going to let me talk about Ixalan yet. But Ixalan is coming. We're deep in the preview season here. I myself actually had a preview card for this one. You can check it out on TCG.
What?
I got the TCG player preview. It's pretty neat.
What?
It was pretty cool. So go check that out. Appreciate it. All right. Look, we're back to Ixalan. It's actually been 6 years, closer to a decade than not. About that since we were in Ixalan.
When they announced Ixalan, I was in the airport in Vegas. And I was on my phone, and I was just tweeting pictures of Calvin and Hobbes where a T-Rex was flying a jet.
And now that's a Magic card, and it's a T-Rex flying a Transformer jet. Which would be... Jason, you'll know. Yeah, which one flies?
Which Transformer flies?
Yeah, dude, which one's... Starscream, yep.
Why would I know that? I don't care about the Transformers.
and yet you knew.
I knew that Starscream flies. Starscream sounds like a Decepticon to me, so it's probably not who it is.
No, it was, and he is a Decepticon. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't a T-Rex be flying an Autobot? Are T-Rexes evil? Because
do you
I've
think
seen
they're good
Jurassic
guys?
Park, and T-Rexes are the good guys. They're just chill. They love to save your life. A T-Rex will save your life.
Unless you're a lawyer trying to take a...
Well, he's a lawyer.
That is literally the justification they give for him dying as to why you
Listen,
shouldn't
at
care.
the end of that movie, the Deus Rex Machina shows up and saves the day.
It does.
So, T-Rexes are good guys. Why would he fly a Decepticon? That doesn't make any sense.
We have the episode title now.
No
I
kidding.
think that's just what they're like. I think they're just good guys.
Look, I'm excited about the set just at a high level with the gods and the dinosaurs and obviously the Merfolk. Dinosaurs. I think Explorer is a really cool mechanic.
Is that how they taught you in Oklahoma school? Like, the dinosaur and the man they coexisted 6,000 years ago when God made this earth.
I went to Catholic school, so it wasn't like that.
He made a dirt man, and he took his rib and was like, hey, I made something with your rib, go fuck it. And then he made the dinosaur, the T-Rex, the Velociraptor, the Brontosaurus, and man rode him to work at his job at the quarry. And he would go home and take a dump in his dinosaur, and his dinosaur would say, it's a living.
So specific. But...
I'm reading a page from Yabba Dabba Deuteronomy.
Yep, I got it. I got it. Don't worry.
I can do this all day.
It'd be better if you don't.
Now, Scooby-Doo, that's a documentary.
Listen, the Scooby-Doo crossover is coming for sure. The Scooby-Doo Secret Lair. How cool would that be? Matthew Lillard, he plays Magic, right?
He does.
Yes.
As
we are not sponsored by
Jason descends into madness.
Oh, yeah.
We have descend mechanics, multiple descend mechanics.
Why are you trying so hard to get us back on?
Why do you? Well, listen, I'm with DJ on this one. The word descend is in this set a lot, but not always in the same way. What's the deal?
So we have descend as a keeping track of number of permanents in your graveyard. And then we have Fathomless Descent, which is if a permanent has been sent to your graveyard from anywhere. We have a million other mechanics.
But the Chupacabra has Fathomless Descent too, and that was just count the number of permanents in your graveyard.
Yeah, it's very confusing. We have Explorer, we have Craft, we have Rebound, we have Discover, which is different than Descend, which is kind of Cascade.
It's kind of Cascade.
We have just a lot of mechanics.
Wait, Discover is distinct from... Oh, God, it was Explorer before.
Explorer is back. Now.
Explorer is back. Of course it is.
Explorer is a great mechanic for what it's worth.
Map tokens.
It is. So don't give us 17 other mechanics. Just give us...
It does seem like a lot. I'll say that. Set looks cool, though, right? Like, come on. This
should be called Descenders of Ixalan.
How about Explorers of Ixalan?
Well, that was when they had the Explore mechanic. Now they don't have the Explore mechanic, and they're descending. They're Descenders of Ixalan.
No, no Explore mechanics at all. I think this set's looking fun, y'all. And then look, hey, this is the set we get to take into the holidays, so we'll get to care all about. Oh, just kidding, Lord of the Rings. But this set's neat. Wilds of Eldring was fun. This was fun as well. I'm not gonna lie, I am feeling, in addition to sort of the overall product fatigue or whatever, blah blah blah. I'm missing the worlds, right? Like Ixalan's cool, Eldring is cool, and it's just like, oh, pop in, we're gone again.
Maybe they'll cross over with some Magic IP. That'd be cool. Secret layer.
That's
we
what Thunder
found these
Junction
characters at IHOP, and we thought, hey, they'd be cool to do a story about.
That's what Thunder Junction is, right? It's just it's the Avengers. Like it's all the. I think the story is that after whatever happened and everyone's scattered around and no one can do all the same planeswalking or whatever. There's Thunder Junction, which is where they're all going to meet up in an Avengers style Magic set.
It just sounds like the 2/3 of Cedar Point. That's what it sounds like to me. Thunder Junction sounds like a log flume.
And a minecart, a bumpy minecart that destroys your back.
Yeah. Yeehaw, Thunder Junction.
Yeehaw. How about yeehaw? This on Pick of the Weeks.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
How about instead of doing a pick of the week, we do a pick of the weeks? What's your favorite week?
I like Christmas, New Year's week. Okay.
Douglas, what about you?
Whole week? Ooh. There's always...
Shark.
There's the Shark Week. There's German Week on Great British Bake Off. Can't do Mexican. They did Mexican
you can
Week.
have
That one
British
didn't go
people,
well.
or you can have food preparation. You shouldn't mix the two. Oh, I've made a lovely batch of bubbling squeak. You would like some? Oh, you got your bangers and mash all over my spotted
I've never
dick.
seen... He's so much. Jason hates British food more than anything in the world. And he
'cause
hates
I had
a
to
lot of
eat it.
stupid things.
They didn't have non-British food in Britain. And I wasn't there for too long to just be like, nah, I'm going to go back to America in 6 months. I'm all good on
Food.
treacle toffee, whatever the f*** that is. My dentist said don't eat it, so.
Oh my bloody hell, my team's lost the f***ing script.
Would you like a copper?
My football club's utter shite this year, isn't it?
People are... This is a terrible... Just horrible.
I'm glad podcasts can't get relegated.
I hope your picks of the week are better than your British accents.
I am picking
Mine was
Wild
spot
Magic
on.
Sorcerer.
What are you talking about?
Wild Magic Sorcerer, you say? It's a good one.
This is. Do you know what it does?
I do. It was on my weekly winners last week.
And that's why I'm typing, because I know it. Why know what it does? Why don't you tell the listeners?
Why don't you go
does?
check the spreadsheet that listeners at patreon.com/BSB have access to? Where I just put DJ's DJ's pick of the weekend.
You know how many patrons you have. Who is this for? We had 11 people support us all the way back in 2015, and they're still doing it.
And we appreciate them.
And we appreciate them.
We also appreciate everyone else who makes it possible. Patreon.com/BSB. It is truly what makes it possible for us to make this cast. Take care of our editor. Take care of everybody on the staff.
Wild Magic Sorcerer is a X-Bulk rare from Commander Adventures of the Forgotten Realms, also known as Forgotten Realms Commander on Scryfall, because for some reason...
Also
TCG
known as
player,
Forgotten Set.
For some reason, TCG Player doesn't go with Scryfall's set naming. But it spiked from 50 cents to $1.30 or so, and you can still get them for below $1 on Direct, and the card says the first spell you cast from exile each turn has Cascade. There's plenty of commanders recently that have dealt with casting things from exile and suspend and timey-wimey nonsense.
Timey-wimey.
And it's a cheap card with not a lot of versions. I mean, it just has the... I guess it has Commander Legends Battle for Baldur's Gate. That one's $4, so there you go.
Yep.
There we go.
I'll come in with a standard. We've seen
switching it up.
Well, Standard's been moving cards over the past month or two. And one of the latest ones I think I'm seeing pick up some momentum is Virtue of Loyalty out of Wilds of Eldraine. I think it's $10.
Is that the white one?
It is. And it's one of the most powerful in Standard. For 2 mana, you get a 2/2, sure, but for 5 mana, at the beginning of your end step, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control and untap those creatures. Any Standard deck that doesn't go over the top and play a bunch of board wipes, or even the ones that do want this, but any of the ones that don't, this is what wins the matchup. So, yeah, it's a $10 Mythic. We're about to be into Ixalan and not in Wilds of Eldraine anymore. And, I don't know if this can go crazy, but it's been very steady for the past month at $10, and it's starting to move up.
Cool.
All right, Jason, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at a card that kind of does double duty here. So we talked about
You
how
said
Duty.
we talked about O'Hare Exonal, somebody tweeted how to pronounce all this stuff. Like, it's based on a real language. It don't sound like a ignorant white dickhead trying to pronounce this. And of course, I didn't prep.
I just think every
guy.
legendary creature nowadays is
Oh,
based off
dog,
a high
the
scoring
one, the
Scrabble
god,
word.
the red god. Red god, it says when you would deal like a damage, you deal 4 or whatever his power is. Instead, he's like a better Gerson Skirn. So a dinosaur that deals 1 damage, seems like it'll be very popular with Ixalan stuff. I'm going to go all the way back to the last Ixalan and get a card that was bannable. Rampaging Ferocity. $5-ish right now. Go scoop them at 5. O'Hare, Odger. Red God decks will want this card because it does a damage. Dinosaur decks will want this card because it's a dinosaur. It's got something for everybody, those 2 kinds of people. So get yourself a Rampaging Ferocidon today. You probably have some from when you had them in Standard and it got banned and you just threw it in your binder in disgust. Well, now they're up to $5 and they will be more probably. I'm telling people what their cards have been worth over the last 5 years as if they didn't know. Because they go to mtgstocks.com, your source for MTGs and stocks.
Perfect. The perfect pitch.
I have a bonus pick.
All right, DJ, getting in here, coming in hot. You got one
outta
more for
here.
us? Yeah. What do you got, DJ?
We used to only have a few cards with the word God on them, and now we have that many plus 5.
Sure, that's a
the
lot.
World Tree has been reprinted kind of a lot for how recently it came into existence. I mean, it was in a Secret Lair Commander deck. It was on the list. It's got showcases and promo packs and all these other variants. But the card itself, I think, is not going to be $3 forever. This might be a little bit of a long-term one that has to Matrix bullet dodge some reprints, but if it does, then the World Tree, just based on text alone, I do not think will be a $3 card forever. Because we just keep getting a new cycle of gods every set. We got the Phyrexia gods from Mondrak in that cycle. We get Ixalan gods. Every plane's got a god. I'm sure we're gonna get. Well, like, we're also another thing people haven't considered is that the Bible is public domain for a Secret Lair, and so we'll get the Christian gods too, and that'll be a good tie-in.
The Christian gods?
Yeah, you got Jesus and the other guy.
Douglas, the Holy Trinity is one person. What's so hard to understand about that?
All right, I think that wraps it up for us this week. As a reminder, we appreciate everyone who takes the time to go to patreon.com/BSB to support this podcast. We encourage you to go to our sponsors, MTG Stocks, as well as Coalesce Apparel and Design. Use that gift code Brainstorm Brewery on checkout, which will help you with any content creators merch, not just ours. Thank you, everyone, for listening. For Brainstorm Brewery, we'll see you next week.
Oh, hey, while we got you here, go to Manscaped and demand that they send us the Manscaped 5.0 thing. It's got like a face shaver. It's way nicer. I want that thing. I want the 5.0. So go to Manscaped and be like, oh, I was waiting for the 5.0 to support Brainstorm Brewery.